Greetings to everyone out there in the NoDQ galaxy. Welcome to the NoDQ live recap of Smackdown for the June 4th, 2019 edition. Now, last night, Casey, my male cat, made a cameo on video, and Sassy is here right now, so we might as well have her make a cameo, and she's not too thrilled about me picking her up. She's very cozy, and now she's going to leave in disgust because I did that. But I had to make her appear on video as a cameo for Smackdown since Casey was on Raw. Anyways, enough cats. If you like cats, though, head over to youtube.com/AaronRift. There's my cheap plug. Let's get down to Smackdown. We had Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods come out. Once again, you had Kofi Kingston, WWE Champion, slinging the pancakes around. Kofi said that he thought he's done it all. And then they talked about the pancakes, did a cheap plug for the pancakes, of course. He says he brought up again how he won the WWE title. Crowd chanted, "You deserve it." And then footage was shown from his homecoming in his home country of Ghana. Then we had Dolph Ziggler come out. Ziggler said he respects Kofi's decision. He respects Kofi, everything Kofi has done in WWE. But Ziggler said it's not about Kofi, it's about Ziggler and the way that Ziggler is. A Ziggler video package was shown, and he talked about how he's done so much in WWE, yet has gotten so little in return. He said he's given his soul to WWE, and it's Kofi that gets to have the big WrestleMania moment. Ziggler said that Kofi is a hero, but Ziggler will go down as the hero of this story. And then Kofi had some footage of his own. Everybody had footage in the segment apparently ready to go. They knew the other guy was going to mention something, so they had the video footage ready. Kofi showed the footage of Dolph Ziggler giving up the U.S. title from December 2017. Not sure if this was the best idea right after Rey Mysterio gives up the U.S. title. Just remind everyone that the U.S. title has been vacated more than once recently. I don't know. Not sure I would have done this. But yeah, I find it funny that Kofi just happened to have this footage ready to go. He must have figured Dolph Ziggler was going to come out there on the ramp and say all these things. Kofi said that unlike Ziggler, he has never quit on himself. He has never quit on the fans. And he said, as long as I'm WWE Champion, it will never be you. And then Ziggler had some more footage. Footage shown from last week where Kofi, of course, got taken out by Dolph Ziggler. And then Ziggler said on Friday, it will be me. So there you go. That was the final build-up. I mean, this was an all right segment, but yeah, it just came off a bit too choreographed for my tastes. Just the fact that these guys have all this footage ready to go. Like, they assume the other guy's just going to come out there and say what they're going to say, and they're going to respond with the footage. I mean, it was a little over the top. This actually turned into, you guessed it, a tag team match. I feel like this is Monday Night Raw now. We have the opening promo segment. We come back from commercial break, and it's a tag match. Holla, holla, holla. But apparently, again, following suit from Raw, this match was apparently made earlier in the day. So whatever. It was Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. We had a commercial break. This was a very lengthy match, and quite frankly, not a real exciting one. I was actually bored with it. Kofi won with the Trouble in Paradise. Dolph Ziggler hit super kicks on Kofi and Woods after the match, and that was the final build. This was pretty much the first 30 to 40 minutes of SmackDown. I'm not a fan. I've said this many times. I'm not a fan of one guy being involved in a quarter of the show, or even more than a quarter of the show. In this case, it was more than a quarter of the show. Just not a fan of it. Either have Kofi come out for a promo segment or have him do a match. But don't do a promo and then a match that has a commercial break. It's too much, in my opinion. It's called overexposure. So next up, we had a Shane McMahon promo. More footage was shown. This was the Let's Show Footage edition of SmackDown Live. Shane said he's going to call out Roman Reigns, and we'll find out if Roman is the big dog or if he's just a little puppy with his tail tucked between his legs. Next up, we had the Moment of Bliss with Bayley as the special guest. As Caitlin pointed out, Alexa was in her ring gear, so you know what this means. Anytime somebody's out there with their ring gear, they're probably not wearing their gear for no reason. You know, they're getting in their gear because they're wrestling. So there you go. A little foreshadowing here for those of you paying attention at home. Alexa got the cheap heat, so I guess she's a heel again. Based off of the storyline with Nikki Cross, I thought Alexa was a face now, but I guess not. She was calling Raw the top brand over SmackDown. Crowd booed that, of course, since it was SmackDown. Alexa wanted her coffee before asking questions to Bayley. Bayley was getting frustrated. Alexa said Bayley had one good night, and then Bayley responded by saying she worked hard for many years to get that one good night. And then Alexa brought up all of her accomplishments on SmackDown, and Bayley said it's not about the past, it's about the future. Alexa then said she wanted her coffee, and Bayley just had enough. It got really heated. Carmella came out, and then we had Charlotte come out, and Charlotte had announced that Shane McMahon made a triple threat match, and sure enough, it was Alexa versus Carmella versus Charlotte Flair. In a triple threat, winner gets to face Bayley for the SmackDown Women's title at Stomping Grounds. Mike B with the first super chat of the night, $5. Thank you for that, Mike B. He says, your cats are awesome. How old are they? Believe it or not, my cats are 21 and 19 years old. I'm 33 and have had them for over half my life. Cats are awesome. Well, that is quite remarkable to have cats that old. My cats are 11. They were born in 2007. So actually, they're 12 now. I failed at math. So actually, I didn't fail at math. I think I got a D in algebra. Math wasn't my best subject. It's hard. It's hard when you can't bullshit your way through a subject. And math is definitely, math and science, you can't bullshit that stuff. So you got to put in the work if you want the good grade. The other subjects, you know, you could bullshit your way if you knew what you were doing. But sometimes, like, actually doing the work was easier than bullshitting your way through it, interestingly enough. Big Gabe Itch with a $2 super chat says, the Jewish community supports you, and then he did a wink face. Well, thank you for that. I do appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. And let's see here. We have a $2 super chat from Colin Andrew. Thank you for that, Colin. He says, do another video with Stefan and Jerry soon, please. Well, I'm hoping to do something with them during SummerSlam weekend, which is in Toronto. So I guess that gives me a little quick plug here, an opportunity for a quick plug. Coming up, SummerSlam weekend, the day of SummerSlam, we're going to be doing a big meetup in Toronto, the 2019 NoDQ.com meetup. So come join us. Stefan will be there. Jerry will be there. Virtue will be there. Caitlin will be there. Cindy, I think, will be there. We're going to have a big NoDQ meetup. Noah Foster, the Simple Man's also going to be there. So it's going to be jam-packed and maybe even a few surprises. So head over to NoDQ.com/Toronto for more details on that. And Offman Rules with a $5 super chat says, my Alexa is sitting next to my TV. Every time you mention Bliss, she lights up, so I have to lower the volume when you mention Bliss's first name. That's nice. I like that. And thank you for the super chat, Offman. And hopefully I get to see you in a couple weeks. I just wanted to say, if anybody watching this is in the New Jersey area and would maybe like to meet up for some pizza, hit me up, nodqmisc@gmail.com, and maybe we can make that happen in the next couple weeks. Moving on here, we had RTruth and Carmella backstage. And Truth was using Carmella's phone to talk to Shane McMahon. Shane ended up calling back on Carmella's phone, and RTruth answered it and said, who's this? So there's more RTruth comedy. And then Shane apparently told RTruth that he's going to be involved in a regular type of match in the ring next. Yaniv Media just sent in a $1 super chat. No comment or anything, but thank you for sending that. I appreciate it. So we had Elias in the ring with his electric guitar, and I guess he pretty much did his promo during the break, because when we came back from the break, it was Elias versus RTruth in a lumberjack match with a bunch of the 24/7 / WWE catering superstars, and of course many of them will be in that 50-man battle royal at the Shooper. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it the Shooper now, because we already had one Super Showdown. WWE needs to be more original with their names, so it's just the Shooper from now on. At the Shooper pay-per-view, we're going to have a 50-man battle royal, and of course you can watch the Shooper pay-per-view on the WWE Network for just $9.99. Still, after all these years, $9.99. WWE has not raised the price yet. I'm surprised. I guess with all that Saudi money, they really don't need to. So anyways, this was pretty much 10 seconds and it was over. That's what she said. Elias won quickly with the roll-up, and then he became a two-time 24/7 champion. We had this big brawl. Everybody started fighting, realizing they could win the 24/7 title, but then they just completely forgot where RTruth was. RTruth ended up going under the ring. Elias ran under the ring, and under the ring there was a steel chair. RTruth smashed the steel chair, or smashed Elias's head onto the steel chair, and then pinned him under the ring. This was not shown on television, but WWE had this hidden camera, I guess, under the ring, and the footage was published on social media. So that's what happened, for those of you wondering. It, in fact, did not end with a roll-up. I thought for sure it was going to be another roll-up somehow under the ring, but it was not. Interestingly enough, the 24/7 title did not change hands with a roll-up. And we have a $2 super chat here from, if I can pull it up here without messing up the chat, Alex Pershing with the $2 super chat says, wild card rule is forced, so why have Raw lumberjacks? You got me. Because reasons? I don't know. So yeah, we had RTruth regain the 24/7 title. He got away, and that was that. We had another another Aleister Black promo, and he just basically talked about how he isn't a hard man to find. Well, that's interesting to say when you haven't actually been having a match over the past 6 weeks. I'm not a fan of these promos. I feel like he was doing just fine before. Why do these promos? It wasn't needed for his character. He was already getting over with the fans, so dumb. If anything, I think these promos are hurting him, not helping him. Haywood, with a $2 super chat, says, I rather poop in my hands than clap watch WWE. All right, then. Well, luckily for you, there's AEW. We had Shane McMahon, the best in the world. I'm not going to do it for 30 seconds, but one of these days, I would like to see Greg Hamilton actually do that and stretch it out for 30 seconds, or as long as he possibly can. So Shane came out with the Revival, wild card rule, of course, whatever. CM Punk chants right away. So yeah, all this best in the world thing has really accomplished is that the fans just keep chanting CM Punk. Footage was shown from Raw of Roman Reigns getting beat down. Then Reigns came out and gave the Superman punch to both members of the Revival. Basically, this is why they were on the show, to be the punching bags to set up Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon. But then Roman got hit with the Claymore by Drew McIntyre, and that led to Shane hitting another spear on Roman Reigns. So, yeah, 2 nights in a row, Shane gets the best over Roman Reigns. I would not bet against Roman Reigns at the Super Showdown. I'll just leave it at that. And I have 2 more Super Chats here. One from Hamp Connell with a $4. He says, $4 more for no contract signings this week. Yes. Thank you for that, Hamp. And Mike B with a $2 super chat. Thank you for that, Mike B. He says, Aaron wins the 24/7 title from Truth at, what did he say here? I think it was SummerSlam. Yeah, SummerSlam. Hey, how about Sassy winning the 24/7 title? Oh, she's so annoyed with me that I keep waking her up from her slumber. Casey, why don't you come over here and make another cameo? One of the cats should win the 24/7. You know what we need to do now? How about this? Since the 24/7, oh, she finally left. She finally had enough of that. How about this for the 24/7 title? Since it's just a complete joke of a title, why not have Natalia's cat win the title? Have Natalia attack RTruth and then put Two Paws on top of RTruth, and Two Paws becomes the 24/7 champion and then never loses it. They might as well at this point make Two Paws the 24/7 champion. Hopefully Vince doesn't hear that idea because he might just be crazy enough to go with that. We had the triple threat match, Alexa Bliss versus Carmella versus Charlotte Flair. Winner gets to face Bayley for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship at the Stomping Grounds pay-per-view because the women cannot compete in Saudi Arabia. So it's going to be at this random-ass pay-per-view coming up in a couple weeks. We had Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville interfere not once, but twice. And the second time they interfered, that led to Alexa Bliss hitting her DDT to win the triple threat. So it will be Alexa one-on-one with Bayley. SmackDown versus Raw. I thought it only happens once a year, but apparently it doesn't happen once a year anymore. It happens whenever. Raw versus SmackDown coming up at the, whatever the pay-per-view is called, Stomping Grounds. Stupid name. Why not just bring back King of the Ring? Why not do the King of the Ring tournament or even Queen of the Ring? Do something with the women. Have them do a first, another first. King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring. Why not bring back the one-night tournament? I miss it. Balls to Ass with a $2 super chat says, yo, can you shout out my bro Nick for his birthday? Sure, happy birthday, Nick. Hope you're having a great one, and if you're not, hopefully your next one is better. All right, moving on here. We had Lars Sullivan come out for a promo. Crowd started chanting Goldberg, and there were other catcalls at him. They were chanting what at him. So this was an awkward promo. Basically, Lars Sullivan reciting a script. It really came off like a guy that was regurgitating a promo that was scripted for him. He talked about being described his entire life by a certain word, and he told, I think it was Darsha, the ring announcer, or no, she got released. Kayla Braxton was the one. He told her to use the word, to use the F word. He actually didn't say use the F word. He just said to use the word. He said he's used to it, and she finally said it, the one word that he's always been referred to his whole life, freak. And then he talked about how a lion's primary function is to destroy everything in its sight and be a predator, yet the lion is called a lion. He does his thing, and he's called a freak. He said he's in WWE to show that life isn't about rainbows and butterflies. It's about compromise. No, it's actually about pain and suffering. And then he started talking about the 3 blind mice, and yeah, it was very awkward promo. Lars Sullivan is one of those guys that I think is better off not talking, or if he does, he just says a few words. But for him to come out there and cut this lengthy scripted promo, I'm not sure how I felt about this one. Next up, we had what was supposed to be a match between Andrade and Apollo Crews, but Andrade attacked Apollo before the match and hit the hammerlock DDT. This led to regular Finn Balor coming out, and Andrade beat down Balor and laid out Balor with a hammerlock DDT as well. This would have been fine and dandy if Andrade was facing regular Finn Balor at the pay-per-view, but he's already facing the Demon at the pay-per-view. So what did this accomplish? How does Andrade beating up regular Finn Balor when he's facing Demon Finn Balor help Andrade whatsoever? This was a complete waste of time. And apparently, to some people on Twitter, I'm a miserable person for saying this. I'm not angry about it. I'm just calling it like I see it. Waste of time. When you announce Demon Balor already, having Andrade beat up normal Finn Balor is pointless. He's not facing normal Finn Balor at the pay-per-view. So yeah, dumb segment. We had a recap of Triple H and Randy Orton shown, and then we had the main event segment, Goldberg. I'll give Goldberg credit. He did a really good job with this promo, and the crowd loved him. They responded huge to Goldberg. They were chanting Goldberg. He said, "Don't do this to me again." He said, "Thank you, Laredo, Texas." And then he said he agrees with The Undertaker. He says he doesn't want his family to be anywhere near this match, or should I say he doesn't want the family Goldberg anywhere near The Undertaker. He said he left his ass at home, the family man Goldberg, I should say. And then Goldberg said he guarantees that Undertaker is going to get the old Goldberg that Undertaker has been watching for the 20 past years. A $2 super chat. Jeff Meacham deleted the super chat. So I'm sorry to the person that sent the $2. Jeff, what are you trying to do? Screw me out of super chats now? I told people I will at least look at the super chats and I will determine if I should be reading them or not. But guys, to the moderators, please don't delete the super chats. Oh, apparently he used the N-word. Well, let me read it or at least look at it and then I'll say delete it. Matt087 with the $2 super chat says, Sullivan, the new Ryback? He'll be lucky if he gets as big as Ryback. I mean, I like Lars Sullivan. I think he has potential, but man, like I feel like WWE is going to ruin him. And once he's no longer being protected, he's in trouble. I mean, that's just how I see it. Maybe not. Maybe he'll overcome the booking, but yeah, I don't know. And I think the promos aren't going to do him a lot of favors. So anyways, Goldberg finished the promo by saying, "You're next to rest in peace." And that's when the gong went off, the lights went out, and Undertaker appeared in the ring behind Goldberg. Goldberg had this little Santa Claus beard, by the way, that he was rocking. The crowd loved this stare down. The crowd chanted, "Holy shit." And then the lights went out and Undertaker disappeared. So I guess it was past Undertaker's bedtime. He had to get out of there and get back to his hotel room. Goldberg said this Friday, "Bring your jock strap and tighten it up because it's going to be a ride." And then Goldberg's music hit and he took off. So that was SmackDown, everybody. And Offman Rules says, "Was my super chat deleted?" I don't think so. I did read it off, Offman. I brought up the pizza again. That was SmackDown. I mean, I thought the main event segment was pretty good with Goldberg and Undertaker. They kept it simple. They didn't overthink it. You know, I liked the stare down. But much of the rest of the show was filler. So I'm going to be a little generous. I'm going to give it a C-, which is what I think I gave it last week. Only because I think the main event segment was good. But everything else to me was pretty lackluster. So yeah. C- for me. Reggie with a C-. Noah Foster with a D, so the glasses were off on this one. Michael Wayne with a C. Matt Helms with a C. Kev Dog with a C+. Mike B with a C. Curtis Butler with a C. Gary with a C-. Dr. Scorpio with a D, with a C-. My apologies. Anthony gave it an A, so he liked it. Avengers Fan 167 did not. He gave it an F. And Big G gave it a C. So a lot of C's for this show. I mean, it was pretty much a filler, run-of-the-mill SmackDown for the most part. Other than Goldberg's appearance. Really, that's the only segment I can say, like, you should take the time to watch. Other than that, like, this was a skippable show. So that was my take on SmackDown. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm hopeful to be back later this week with the Super Showdown live show, my live recap, and also maybe Saturday I'll get in a No DQ live. I'm going to try to do one on Saturday, a live Q&A. So thank you guys for watching and supporting NoDQ.com. Stay tuned for the very latest, and hopefully I get the new setup soon for the live